by imagining that you are sitting right up against a wall. So you're right on top of your sits bones and your whole back is up against the wall. And especially the neck and head, pretty often, most people have their neck and head hanging forward. It's very much a byproduct of being on a computer a lot or an iPhone. So this is a really nice reminder here to just feel the alignment of the head over the tailbone, essentially. And then as if you were doing an ab curl, begin to nod the head forward and peel the spine over the knees, letting the whole upper body drape over the knees, feeling the shoulder blades spreading open a bit across your back. And then we're going to take some deep breaths here. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And as you breathe out through your mouth, gently purse your lips, and that'll help to create a kind of vacuum action in the abdominals. Help to contract the obliques. And then still imagining that you have that wall behind you, we're going to reverse the order of the roll up. So you're going to start with the low back and gradually stack up one vertebra at a time from the low back all the way through the upper back, neck, and head till to the top. And then you're going to exhale and curl the tailbone underneath. And now we're rolling back off the sits bones, flexing through the spine. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing here. So you're going to take an inhale through your nose, feel that your breath is moving into your back and expanding through your ribs. And then exhale, we're going to take this whole shape and tip it over the top of the knees, letting the arms drape down, dropping the head and the neck, breathing into your back, letting your back stretch. And then starting with the low back, stacking up one vertebra at a time, right up on top of the sits bones. And again, exhaling, rolling the tailbone underneath, rolling right across the sits bones. Good. We're going to float the arms out in front here, maintaining a sense of compression in the low belly, and just do some arm scissors. I use the word just, but that's not really a good word to describe this. This is pretty challenging. So if this feels like it's a little too much right at the get-go here, just skip it. Nice work. Good job, ladies. And then we're going to come back to center. And now this time, as you come up, let your knees fall open. And we're going to take a stretch for the hips and the low back. Same idea here of breathing into your back, letting your spine drape. And then restacking again, low back, middle back, upper back, neck and head, and then drawing the knees back together. And again, exhaling, rolling the tailbone underneath, floating the arms out in front. Notice your weight in your pelvis. So you really do want to feel like you're pretty evenly connected through the sits bones. And then we're going to go full arm circles. And here again, just keep in mind that this is no joke here, moving the arms in this position. It's a lot of work. So take your time with this. Make sure that you do actually feel your abs working. If you don't feel your abs working, you just feel your back or your hips, then I would definitely encourage you to leave the arms out of the picture and just breathe and hold in this position. I'm going to do that one more time. And then again, we're going to come forward, let the knees fall open, tip the torso forward, release the hips, the inner thighs, the low back. And then again, restacking from the low back, one vertebra at a time up tall to the top. Okay, so as we sit here, there's lots of different ways to sit. So you can keep the legs just as they are. You might cross your ankles. You could take your legs out straight. Any of that will work. And we're going to introduce some twisting here. So opposite hand to knee, gently rotating, looking back behind you. Taking a deep breath there. And then moving in the opposite direction. The primary goal here is to twist through the rib cage, and your pelvis is going to shift a little bit. So you might feel a bit of a discrepancy between the sits bones, and that's totally normal. And then again, we're going to go opposite direction. And one more time, other side. And then we're going to come back to center, and let's transition onto all fours. Go through cat-cow. And then here again today, we're going to work on that articulation through the spine. So starting with the low back, curl one vertebra at a time up, flexing through your spine, feeling the shoulder blades spreading open across your back, breathing into your back. And then unwinding out from the tailbone. One vertebra at a time, extending through the spine, feeling the front of the ribs opening a little bit as the chest expands. And then again, using your low abdominals to help curl you up. Sensing the shoulder blades spreading open as you curl your spine up. And then unwinding, noticing if there are areas of your back that are a little bit more stiff. You could spend a bit more time through those spots, using your abs to help you connect. And then we're going to come back to a neutral spine. And we're going to sweep the left arm out to the side. Ronnie, take really good care with this one because there's going to be a lot of shoulder work here in a second. So left arm can come up, and it's almost like a golf swing. For those of you who have golfed before, you swing the left arm up and you really let the hips shift with you. And then you kind of thread it underneath. Okay, to come into a little mid-back stretch there. You're going to take 2 or 3 breaths here, whatever you feel. And then we're going to go back out of it again and repeat that. So let the hips swing with the left arm, kind of swinging off to the side, and then threading back under. And so this provides a lovely stretch between the shoulder blades, not to mention a good twist for the thoracic spine. Let's repeat that one more time. We're going to come out of it, letting the hips swing. Good. Nice job. And then back under. Lovely. And then we'll come back to center. And then let's repeat that on the other side. Ronnie, was that okay? Kind of, yeah, that was my sister. Yeah. Okay, so swing and then under. And you can accentuate this stretch a bit by pushing into the floor with the left hand and the right forearm. And then we're going to come back out of it. Swing. And back under. And one more time. And then we're going to come back to center, coming onto all fours again, connecting with the low belly and extending one leg out behind you, feeling glutes and hamstrings turning on, and then sliding it back in, and then exhaling other side. And we're just going to transition from right to left. And one of the main purposes actually of doing this exercise is that we want to help restabilize the shoulders after the previous exercise. So as much as you're using your glutes and your hamstrings, you're also working on a slight weight shift in the shoulders. So be aware of the shoulders wanting to creep up to the ears. Keep the neck long. And next time the right leg is reaching out behind you, we're going to hold and extend the left arm out, and we're just going to hold and breathe. Actively reaching the arm and the leg away from each other, keeping the abs connecting. And then we'll come down and repeat that on the other side. Left leg reaches out, right arm follows. Trying not to sink into that left shoulder as you bear your weight here. And then we're going to come back down and go into child's pose. Big toes together, knees open, sitting back on the heels. And here again, breathing into your back. We'll walk the hands over to one side, breathing into the side of the body. And then we'll walk the hands in the other direction, breathing into the side. And we'll bring the hands back to center, and we're gonna lay down on your tummy. I'll stack the hands one on top of the other, rest the forehead to the hands. The legs are gonna be about shoulder distance apart and turned out. Glutes and low belly are on. Really important as we go through this exercise that you don't feel this in your low back. This should really be focused on the low belly, the glutes, and the hamstrings. So on the exhale, you're gonna lift the right leg up off the floor, keeping that leg as straight as you possibly can, and then lowering it back down. And repeating that action on the left side. So one of the primary jobs of the abs with this exercise is to keep the pelvis stable and level so that you're not rocking from right to left. And also so that you're not dropping into your low back or like swaying into your low back. And then if you're feeling confident with this exercise, You can add your upper back if you wish to. So we can bend the elbows down by the sides, palms of the hands facing down. And then as a leg extends, you can also extend your upper back and then returning back down and just alternating from right to left. Glutes and hamstrings working. This can get a little bit trickier for the SI, so please be aware of that. Again, really important to stick with the fundamentals of the glutes, the low belly, even engaging the inner thighs and the quadriceps can be very, very helpful here. So if you imagine there's like a big ball between your ankles,